Hey everybody, I'm Nick Goldschmidt, coming to you live from my office, and I just want to say hi to all you out there in Flemings land. I love going to Flemings. I know that many of you see me in your restaurants as I travel around the country. If I ever have a night to myself, Flemings is where I go, and I can't thank you enough for supporting our small family business. So we live right here in the town of Healdsburg, and we're surrounded by 4 appellations: the Alexander Valley, Chalk Hill, Russian River and Dry Creek. We live in Dry Creek, but most of the wines that we make are from the Alexander Valley. So the 2 wines that we have on the wine list for this coming rewrite is Fidelity, which you may have seen before. In fact, you will have seen before because you've had it in the restaurant. So Fidelity is a red blend. It's the only blend that we make. It's a blend of Merlot, Cab, Cab Franc and a little bit of Petit Verdot. And we sort of change the blend a little bit each vintage depending on the year. So the wine that I'm talking about is the 2014. 2014 was a fairly ripe year, pretty full on, and the name Fidelity, or the way the wine came about, was we started making this wine back in early 2000s, and so it was an interesting story because I got given the vineyard basically because I had a friend call me up and say, you know, he's close to bankruptcy and he was in trouble. So I went up to the winery, I tasted all his wine, and I said, man, this wine is good. And I called a buddy of mine, a large retailer, and he said he'd take the whole thing. Anyway, it was like 5,000 cases back then. So he sold 4,500 cases and called me up and said, hey man, I can't sell the last 500 cases. So we said we would sell it. Anyway, next day, 91 points, wine enthusiast, Best Buy, and he called me up, can I get my wine back? I said, no mate, sorry, we're selling it ourselves. And so that's where Fidelity comes from. So it's been a great little story for us, a great little red wine. And I really hope you enjoy selling it, especially with appetizers or great steaks. Love it. The second wine is really quite unique. This is the 2014. It's a wine called Yardstick. And Yardstick for me means point of reference, you know, the original non-metric way we measure. And when we think about how we measure quality of Cabernet, of course, we measure quality of Cabernet against Napa Valley. And this is from Napa Valley. Yes, as many of you know, I do make a lot of wine in Oakville, and this wine actually has a fair chunk of Oakville in it. And so you'll get a lot of that creaminess and roundness that you get from Oakville, but at the same time, something a little bit different with this wine versus some of my other wines, has a little bit more structure because we have a little bit of fruit from Rutherford going in it as well. So Yardstick, the name of the vineyard here is Ruth's Reach, and Ruth is the name of my sister. So this wine is going to be full on, really intense, and I hope you guys enjoy that wine as well. Anyway, thanks again to Flemings for supporting Goldschmidt Vineyards and our little family business here in Healdsburg, and I look forward to seeing you out there in the marketplace when I get around. Salute, cheers.